Hey everyone, so I wanted to make a video about something I've gotten a few questions about, and I know I had a bunch of questions about before my surgeries, and that was what can you eat post-surgery? And the ultimate answer, unfortunately, is that all of our bodies are different and thus respond to food differently, so what works and what doesn't work for me may not necessarily be the same for you. But if you're having a surgery or surgeries that involve having an ostomy, I know there are some general food guidelines they give while you have your ostomy that include trying to lay off seeds and nuts and popcorn and really high in fiber foods such as fruits and vegetables, just because they can cause a small bowel obstruction, which, trust me, you do not want. And even though I don't have my ostomy right now, I still try and limit my intake of those food items. So, and if you have a reversal surgery and you have, a period of recovery, for me, I think it was about a month until my doctors told me that I could eat whatever I wanted. And doctors tend to feel that there are no problematic foods just because as long as the food item doesn't land you in the hospital, then it's not a problem. But I don't totally agree with their assessment of that, just because I know for me there are problematic foods now that I don't have my colon. Um, and for me, problematic means an increase in bathroom frequency, but not really any physical pain actually digesting the food. The only physical pain that's really associated with these food items would just be, going to the bathroom more frequently usually irritates my butt a little bit more, but I'm sort of getting used to that by now, so yeah. And for me, these problematic food items would be mainly onions and onion derivatives, tomatoes or any tomato-based products, and then dairy. And after my first surgery, I met with a dietitian who informed me after the fact that after having this surgery, some people do become lactose intolerant, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that I'm lactose intolerant. And then also, really spicy foods can sometimes irritate me as well. But, again, everyone, responds differently, but I do seem to think that these are some pretty common food items that can be problematic for a lot of J-pouchers, so I guess, that's something to keep in mind. But the bottom line is I love food, and my policy has sort of been to eat whatever I want, just not necessarily whenever I want. So, if I know I'm about to go out or I am out, I usually try and avoid these food items. But even then, if there's something I'm really craving that has these food items in it, I still might go for it. So, yeah. But it really, unfortunately, is a trial and error process. There are some foods that I had early on that were problematic that now aren't really as much of an issue. But at the same time, there are foods that I had early on that weren't a problem and have sort of become a bit more of an issue. So, it definitely changes, and it's just, something you really have to experiment with and, add foods back into your diet and, reevaluate them later on and everything, and just sort of take it day by day. I'm still trying to figure it out and what works for me. So yeah, and I know a lot of people suggested that I keep a food diary, which I was too lazy to do. But I do think it is a good idea, just in case you have a bad day, you can try and track down the culprit. Um, but yeah, I mean, I know that this is one of the scarier aspects of having this surgery, just because, I thought I was going to be stuck on a bland diet for the rest of my life and that I was never going to be able to have chocolate again, which probably would have killed me. But I mean, I really do think that you will be pleasantly surprised as to the variety of food that you can still have after this surgery. And, I guess you really have to give it time and, see what happens. So I hope I instilled a little bit more confidence in you about the surgery and life afterwards. But yeah, in the meantime, I hope you're really enjoying all of the summer food while you can still get it, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.